looking for something to cook dinner on. So I'm getting green branches so they don't burn quite as good. This is my Bowie knife. It works good for all sorts of things. Like right now, works really good for chopping branches.
What's a Bowie knife?
Well, that's a Bowie knife. Jim Bowie, he made this famous. See how large it is and the nice curve on it? That's what makes it a Bowie knife.
Jim Bowie, wasn't it? Made that?
That's right, that was Jim Bowie. As you can see, it works for all sorts of things. Well, I think a couple more. That's what I'm looking at. Nice green ones.
I found some dead bark here, brother.
Yeah, I'm going for the green stuff for dinner. Ain't you hungry yet?
Oh, I'm starved. We can eat some of that buffalo we got?
Yep.
Sweet. I'll keep finding some dry stuff to set fire to. Well, we got a little firewood here. You got some green stuff there,
I got
brother?
some green stuff to put them steaks on.
Whoa,
Oh, I
barely
need,
made
I
it.
need
Try the
some.
fire's about dead.
Yeah, you get that fire built up. I need to grab a couple more logs here.
Okay.
These here will work right here.
So what do you eat besides buffalo steaks?
Well, we dry some of it, and we have some jerky. And like brother said, we do bear, deer, elk,
Sometimes we find berries.
berries, and grubs, and fruit, and stuff like that.
That's always a good day when you find a little berries growing around. Come take a closer look at this. You see that? That's a beaver. Beaver chewed that tree off. That's his teeth marks right there. See, on that one and that one. Just thought you might like to see that. What we're going to do with these, there we go.
Is that what you're thinking of, brother?
That's what I was thinking. What if we set that like that?
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a rare cooking thing here now.
Then we took this other one, set your bark there to the side just a little bit. Like that right there. Then you remember,
Some of this wood's a little wet, so I'm kind of putting it out here to dry.
remember these green ones here? I'm going to trim that up a little bit.
It's kind of cold out here. Don't you guys get cold?
Yeah,
Matter of fact, I think she's right. It is kind of cold.
it is kind of cold out here.
But you know what? We come prepared for whatever we need. What I got here, somewhere down in here. Oh, there it is right there, my capote.
Yeah, you see mine over there somewhere?
I know you had it earlier.
Yeah, well, there's a good point blanket.
Yeah, now actually, a capote is made from a point blanket. Tell them what the points on that blanket is all about.
Well-
Why you have the points on there?
You see that right there? Boy, you can spend a lot of cold nights with a good point blanket. It's made out of wool. Now this here, see the points? How many do you count there?
4.
So that is the quality or the thickness of the blanket. 4 points, that's not bad.
Probably cost you 4 beaver.
Yeah, about 4 beaver.
About 4 beaver pelt.
So the more points, the better quality. Less points, less quality.
More it's gonna cost you. But
Well-
keeping warm, you can't put a price on that.
Yep. Well, let's see. There we go.
You find it in there?
Yep, I found it.
I knew you had it. Not something you'd lose.
No, well, that's definitely something you want to keep your hands on. You got that fire going yet, brother?
Well, it's having issues, but it's gonna make it. It's gonna make it just fine. You about ready for our...
Yep, I'm all
Steak?
ready.
There you go. You need a little bigger hat there.
So what's all the other stuff you got laying out there?
Well, you spend a little time up in the mountains, you're gonna catch different things. Like this here, this is a deer. They always tan their hides. They're not as valuable as beaver, and that's what we're not up here for, but you know, when we shoot a deer to eat it, we always save everything we can on it. We don't waste anything. So there's the hide of that. What else you got in there, brother?
Well, here's a coyote.
Here's a red fox we got.
They're always
Beaver,
handy.
beaver. We got a lot of beaver, but
Oh, yeah.
there's another
Oh,
fox.
there you go. What do you think that is? You ever seen such a critter? That's a badger.
That's
them are
what I
mean
got here,
little
the
things.
badger hat.
Them are
Made
mean
that a while
little
back.
things, but
Boy.
oh, there we go. You ever seen one of them? Raccoon.
Them things are all over the place causing trouble.
Yep.
Raccoons.
Not
I
good
knew
for
a mountain
much.
man named Cody. What was his name? We call him Little Badger.
Yeah.
He caught him a coon, made him a coonskin cap. Prettiest hat I ever seen.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Little badger.
Little Badger. He's a good man,
with
that
his
guy.
coonskin cap. Oh, and then of course you got the buffalo. That's what this is here. That's a good buffalo robe.
That's the only thing better than a point blanket if you had a buffalo robe to keep warm. Them things, hey. You can wrap up one of those and stay real warm. I think we're ready for a steak, brother.
All right, well, remember them green branches I was cutting? Now we're going to take them, just lay them across there, and being green, they shouldn't burn quite as quick as the other stuff. Lay them across there, and then starting to fall through there. Oh, sorry. There we go. We got something going there now.
Gonna be good. Gonna be good.
You shoot the animals that you eat, but do you shoot the beaver?
No.
No, you don't want a hole in the beautiful hide.
That'd make it so it wasn't worth as much.
Where we got those in here, brother? Let's show them what we got.
Well,
There
how
we
do
go,
you
right
catch
there.
a beaver?
Well, you got beaver traps, of course. Kind of tangled up there, ain't you?
Yeah.
So you got a trap just like that.
There's all different sizes. You get big and little ones, but the basic thing is the springs right here.
Yeah. Double springs, couple of jaws.
Why don't you show them how to set it?
Yep. So this is what you do. Just like that. Compress the springs. Once you get the springs compressed, then you grab the trigger, flip it over here.
Watch your finger.
Yeah, don't want to get your fingers in there.
You take it off.
And just like that. See how the trigger hooks into the pan? Once you get the trigger hooked in the pan, then you're ready. Then you take that, like over that beaver dam over yonder. You break a little hole in that beaver dam. Tie this end to something solid. Put that trap in there.
Down in the deep in the water.
Down deep in the
there.
water. And then along comes the beaver swimming along, comes up to the hole in his dam, and you got him. Just like that.
That's the basic how do you do it.
More or less.
More or less.
You could also find where the beavers are sliding down into their pond. That's another good spot.
Then we get some scent out of another beaver we caught and put
Yep.
scent around there, and they come over to investigate the scent smell.
thinking another
too.
beaver's intruding on their territory.
So you get all these furs, but then what do you do with them? How do you get them to the people who want to make those hats?
Well, she's never heard of a rendezvous, has she?
No, she hasn't.
Why, we do it by a rendezvous. In fact, I think there was this Cache Valley here. It had like 2 of them in this valley, you saying? And then
Yeah, two rendezvous.
over there, that big lake over on the other side of the mountain.
Bear Lake.
Bear Lake, yeah. They had a couple of them
They
over
had
there.
a couple over there in Bear Lake too.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, this valley here, it's called Cache Valley, but back in the day, when we was trapping more, they used to call it Willow Valley. They just started calling it Cache Valley because all the trappers like us would cache their hides and furs and supplies.
Cache means you're hiding it. You're stashing it, hiding it until the rendezvous, and we'd come back to our cache, get our cache, dig it up, grab our hides, take them to the rendezvous right here close and handy.
Then that would get us, then we'd turn it in for more supplies and a little pleasure.
Yeah. Rendezvous was quite a little party.
Yeah, it was a good party.
Yeah.
Well, who was at the rendezvous?
Oh, gee, everybody.
Everybody came to the rendezvous.
Yeah, everybody came. You'd have the company men, you'd have the free trappers, you'd have Indian, Native Americans, and
Even the Blackfoot came to that
Oh,
one
that
over
was-
there.
oh, they
That was a mess.
those Blackfeet, they wanted to fight. That's all they wanted to do was fight.
Yeah, all they want to do is fight.
They
Both
caused
of
problems
them,
with that one
both
over
of them
there.
rendezvous over there in Bear Lake, the Blackfoot came and caused all sorts of trouble.
It was quite a rendezvous when they showed up.
So all of the mountain men and everybody was at the rendezvous. Do you know of any other famous mountain men?
Well.
We've met pretty well every one of them.
Yep.
Everything you're probably thinking of Osborne Russell,
Hugh Glass.
Hugh Glass.
Hugh
Yeah,
Glass, yep.
he's an amazing man. That guy.
Yeah,
Hugh
yeah, he
Glass.
was quite the guy.
John Coulter.
John Coulter.
Yeah, John Coulter. Yeah, he was quite.
Oh,
a guy.
and then you got the original mountain men, Lewis and Clark.
Lewis and Clark. Yep.
Yep.
Jim Bridger. Don't forget that
Oh
guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was famous, but you know.
Yeah, not much in this area. He was back
Yeah.
there, but yeah, he wasn't a bad guy. But yeah, we know them all, met them
Yeah.
all.
Ooh, look at them steaks. Look at that juice coming up.
I can smell them.
Oh yeah. Dinner's almost ready.
Yeah, we know about a lot of those guys because they wrote stuff down.
That's right.
They kept what do they call that when you're writing a book like that?
About your own personal stuff.
Yeah, they call it journal.
a journal.
Journal.
Yeah.
They call it
Yeah,
journals. A lot
Journal.
of those guys kept journals. I know some men that did some amazing stuff that they never wrote none of it down. So
Yep.
we don't know anything about those guys. So you know, maybe that's why we keep journals, brother.
Yeah.
So that after we're long gone, people can read about us and go, "What a bunch of crazy guys."
Yeah, they'll probably say that.
Yeah,
I guarantee
So at least
that.
they'll know something about us. That's the whole reason to keep journal. Otherwise, all these mountain men, we wouldn't know anything about them.
That's
Yeah,
right.
somebody hadn't wrote something down.
Just fade off into history.
That's why it paid off to go to school and get educated. That's why kids should do that. Get
Yep.
educated so they can write things down, do figure and cipher and stuff like that.
And besides, if you can't do math and arithmetic, how do you know whether you're getting cheated at the rendezvous when they say this is only worth 5 beaver when you know very well it was worth 10 beaver the year before?
Yeah.
Or even just at
They give you those coins. How do you
Yep.
know they added it up right if you can't check them on it?
you got to be able to add.
Yeah, that's why you get some schooling in.
Ooh, don't lose it. Don't lose it.
Got it.
Hey, we're good.
Your sticks didn't hold up,
Yeah, that one
but they're
kind of,
about done.
they almost held up long enough.
Yep, they done their job.
Let me fix that one a little bit for you there.
I'm getting hungry.
So all those mountain men wrote down their stories. Can you tell us one of the stories that you've read?
Well,
Well,
we could tell,
yeah.
telling a lot of them. We could tell you one
There's a
quick.
lot.
What'd be a real quick story?
Well,
John Coulter.
John Coulter.
Remember?
Yeah, which
They
which
teased him
one?
so bad.
Oh, yeah.
That's why you should never tease anybody when they're telling you something.
Yep.
John Coulter, they teased him so bad.
You
Right.
ever heard of Coulter's Hell?
Yeah, that's what they called it.
Coulter's Hell.
John Coulter, he'd go out, wander out by himself. They'd send him out to find a bunch of tribes, tell them about the rendezvous, and he'd be out by himself for months. In the middle of the winter, wandering around, they thought he got some kind of
Now,
fever.
what year was that? That was the winter of 1807,
Yeah,
1808.
I think you're right. 1807, 1808. He wandered up.
They sent him off to visit with the Crow.
Yeah, to find the Crow and let the Crow know about the rendezvous.
They wanted to do some set up trading relations with the Crow.
He had his point blanket, and he was up in that country. What do they call that country now?
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
They call it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was up in
went-
Yellowstone
went
with
up
a
the
point
Yellow-
blanket.
Yeah, went up the Yellowstone
In the
River.
middle of the winter. And that boy, he kept warm up there. But when he came back, he told them stories about
Yep. He traveled.
bubbling water, bubbling up, hot spring, a river running down that was warm. They thought he
Yeah.
had lost his mind. Craziest thing.
And boiling mud.
Yeah, and water shooting geyser up in the sky.
Hot water,
Hot
nonetheless.
water nonetheless.
In
out
the
the
middle of
ground.
the winter.
In the middle
Hot
of the winter.
water coming out of the ground in the wintertime.
He quit telling people because they teased him so much and razzed him so much.
They thought for sure he had lost his mind.
Oh yeah, it does sound pretty crazy.
It does.
But you know what? Remember we went up there and seen it
Yep.
with our own eyes.
I have seen that with my own
He
eyes.
wasn't lying.
That was
It was the
100% truth.
But
Wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it myself.
well, a lot of people didn't believe it, and they teased him so bad, gave him a bad time. But that's why you shouldn't tease people about stuff. They just might be right.
You read about other people's adventures, but do you guys have a story? Do you have a story you
Well.
could share with us?
Yeah.
Let's
How can you
see.
live this life and not have a few stories? Why, I remember having buffalo chase us, and we chased a few buffalo, didn't we?
That's the thing with buffalo. It kind of goes both ways.
Comes and goes both ways. You chase
Sometimes
them for
you
a
do the
while,
chasing, sometimes they
they
do the chasing.
Yep. Yep. Well,
You want to tell them about some buffalo? Or what do you want to tell them about? There's that one time we ran into that crazy old coot up in that cabin. Started shooting at each other. They done? I think they're
yep,
done.
I think they're done. Yeah, that crazy coot stuck in the cabin started shooting at us.
All we wanted to do was just come up and say howdy.
Howdy, howdy, and he started shooting, so what do you think we did?
Shot back, of
We
course.
shot back. That's what you do. We shot back and forth for a while. We started sneaking around. We finally snuck and busted in the cabin.
And he had ran out.
He ran
and now
out.
we was in the cabin and he was outside and was still shooting at us.
And so we started shooting at him in the cabin. Then after a while, we just gave it up and parlayed and made friends.
Yep.
But it's crazy that way up here in the mountains. You never know what people's going to do.
Sometimes they're friends, sometimes they're shooting at you.
You never know. Well, brother, I believe they're done.
Yeah, that's looking good.
Yeah, looking good.
Oh yeah. Ooh,
Would you guys like to join us in some buffalo steak?
it's good.
It's going to be real good.
Sure.